Khan, Shalom. First, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakadash, Yahweh, who the world ignorantly calls God, Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus. I want to give double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone. First time in His truth, I want to give peace and blessings to the Akim across the four corners of the earth who teach His truth and risk their life to do so. It's going to be a quick video. Lord willing, the video is edifying. Lord willing, I can get some from this video. Quick video through the Spirit. I didn't have a specific topic I wanted to get into, but I wanted to touch on a couple different precepts. That just came to mind literally when I hit record on a screen record. You know what I mean? The spirit of prophecy is what we must stand. And it's like it when you come across these videos, right? And you hearing the prophets teach and preach the scriptures and break things down and make things make sense, right? It's key that you pay attention because this can save your life, okay? We are coming upon a time where Esau is going to show his horns like he's never have before, right? And when you look at the history, you look at what Esau has done to get in power, right? You look at the things he would do, right? When you look at the Renaissance period, right? Just that's a speck, right? A pebble, of what he's done. But when you look at it, right? You look at the whitewashing of images. You look at iconoclasm. You look at the culture that was introduced to the world as far as Esau getting in power, okay? And right there, all, lies were forwarded, right? Right there is the beginning. Well, I ain't gonna say the beginning, but it added to confusion because now people are confused to who is who, right? But when you have a great deceiver, right, that's running the world, then there's nothing but confusion that's going to be rampant throughout the world, right? You have covering casts. Let's grab that. Covering cast. This is Isaiah 25:7. It says, and he will destroy in this mountain the face of the covering cast over all people, and the veil that is spread over all nations, right? And you have a covering cast amongst the people. People don't know. So when you look at Israel, right, we have biblical names that we were called. Okay, that's our original names, right? From Judah all the way down to Gad, right? And when a so-called white man got in power, he started renaming people, right? Now you have a thing about color, right? Oh, black, white, this and that. These are new things. Back then you were known from the family you come from. Okay? Right? You got our people calling themselves Puerto Ricans. You got our people calling themselves African American. You got our people calling themselves Mexicans. You got our people calling themselves Native Americans, right? And so on and so forth. Okay? Haitians and all, Dominicans and Jamaicans and, Peruvians and all, you know what I mean? So you got our people that are, calling themselves after these names, which really is just confusion, right? And when you throw in and you shake up, like when you shuffle the cards, so to speak, right, you don't know what's what. And that's what this devil has done, right? Now, you got Puerto Ricans really, I'm Puerto Rican, I'm this, I'm that, no, bro, you're Ephraimite, right? You got, African Americans, right? I'm African American, I'm this, I'm black, I'm Afro-American, I'm this, something. No, you're a Judite. Okay? But when you go back and you start looking at your biblical name and looking at the tribes looking at our culture, because our culture is written in the scriptures, right? We are a godly people. You start looking and you start identifying with that, right? You start identifying with that. So you start looking at, okay, what did we do, right? You know, what did we do to make the Lord mad? Okay, what were we supposed to do? You start going into the law. You start looking at, you know, what the Lord requires and what the Lord wants, right? You know, you start identifying with what you truly are, right? Because the scriptures is not a book of religion, right? It's laws, statutes, commandments, it's history, it's prophecy, right? It's lineage, okay? But you got this devil that had made, you know, a bunch of religions and a bunch of different so-called understandings, which there's only one understanding, which is the truth, but a bunch of different understandings, which is a bunch of different confusions, right? You know, really coming out the Vatican, right? That all these people are clinging on to. Here it is. You got Catholics, you got Christians, right? Here it is. They both read out the Bible, but two completely different views, right? Even within Christians, right? Baptists, you know, different names that they have, right? Jehovah Witnesses and all that, right? They read out the scriptures, but two completely different understandings. Okay? But now, what's in front of us? The truth. Right? And only a remnant is going to get it. This is 2 Thessalonians 2:3. It says, let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. The man of sin is revealed. What's revealing them? This truth. Right? It says, let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come except there come a falling away first. Scriptures say that Israel, it says, we will discontinue from our heritage, right? Which we did. We fell away from who we are. But guess what? Just like it was prophesied to happen, we are waking up, but not all Israel. Only the elect and the 1/3 of Israel is waking up, right? For it says, who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called God, which he does, right? This man has a God complex, right? He wants to be worshiped. He put his face up as the Lord, right? And these are all lies, right? It says, or that is worshipped so that he as God sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. Okay? But he's not a God. Okay? He's not a God. Let me go here. Just to show you something real quick, man. It's 1 Maccabees 3:48. And this is what the Greeks did, which Greeks, you know, you have the Greeks, then you have the Romans, which are, you know, they're both Edomites, right? This is 1 Maccabees 3:48. These are some of the things that they were doing. It says, and laid open a book of the law, which is the scriptures, wherein the heathen has sought to paint the likeness of their images. Why? Why did he do that? Why did they do that? Because they understand the importance of image. He that controls images controls minds. If you control minds, you control thoughts. If you control thoughts, you could dictate somebody's actions, right? And you could sway them in to worshiping your lie, which is going to get them fucked up and destroyed. And it's going to keep you in power until the Lord cut it off. Okay? Let me jump here, man. Let me go to, Wisdom of Solomon, the 2nd chapter. This is Wisdom of Solomon 2. And, this is Wisdom of Solomon 2 and 6. It says, come on, therefore, let us enjoy the good things that are present, and let us speedily use the creatures like as in youth. Let us fill ourselves with costly wine and ointments, and let no flower of the spring pass by us. Right? So this is a greed mentality. Okay? Let us crown ourselves with rosebuds before they be withered. Right? And if I'm not mistaken, the Romans actually did that. They will put, if I'm not mistaken, right? They will put a rose crown around their head, you know. 9, it says, let none of us go without his part of our voluptuousness, right? Now let's get that meaning. This is voluptuous. It says is an adjective with a few related meanings depending on the context, having a full, curvy, and attractive figure. Wow. It says 2, it says rich, luxurious, or sensually pleasing, used to describe things that appeal strongly to the sense, such as textures, sounds, or surroundings. Example, the room was filled with voluptuous velvet curtains and soft lining, giving or expressing sensual pleasure. Example, the perfume had voluptuous warm fragrance. So basically like a lavish lifestyle. But let me do this real quick. Right? Let's see what they say about the scripture real quick. Let's see what Chad say. What the scripture means. Right. It says in Wisdom of Solomon 2:9, voluptuousness has a broader meaning than simply describing a curvy body, right? It says, let none of us go without his part of our voluptuousness. It says here, voluptuousness means sensual pleasure, indulgence, or luxurious enjoyment. It comes from the idea of taking pleasure in things that gratify the senses. So the verse essentially means, let none of us miss out on enjoying every pleasure available to us. Let us leave evidence everywhere that we enjoyed ourselves because we believe the life and its pleasure are all we have. And you know what's crazy? If you look at Esau's blessing, right? His blessing was the fatness of the earth. So this is why they have this mentality, right? They don't have a righteous bone in their body. Scripture says they sleep not unless they cause something to fall or unless they cause mischief, right? These are the people that are ruling the earth at the moment. But if you look at the news, right, you got earthquakes. Man, you had earthquakes in that ring of fire. Man, we talked about it at camp, but you had earthquakes, boom, big earthquakes. You know what I'm saying? As it was hitting, boom, 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 right? Scriptures talk about earthquakes in diverse places. You know what I mean? These are the signs and things where that are going to happen, and more earthquakes is going to happen to where you know that the Lord is getting ready to come. Okay? It says, let none of us go without his part of our voluptuousness. Let us leave tokens of our joyfulness in every place, for this is our portion and our lot is this. See, they know. Let us oppress the poor righteous man. Let us not spare the widow, nor reverence the ancient gray hairs of the age. That's why scripture say never trust that enemy, for his iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. This is the man of sin. Okay, this is the mindset of the man of sin. This is the mindset of those who are in rulership at the moment. Okay, Job 9:24. The earth is given unto the hands of the wicked. So this is how they think. This is what they're going to do. This is what they're going to be about. This is what they stand on. And they're going to get evil and the wicked, and they're going to show you how devilish and deceptive they are the more the world slips through their hands. Right? Because y'all not, you guys are not meant to rule the world forever. You guys have been ruling the world for a small period of time, and the earth is in fucking shambles, man. The mindset of people are in people don't know their fucking left hand from their right hand, man. Vice versa. These motherfucking people don't know. They give into every thought. One day they want to be a girl, right? So these motherfuckers will get alternate body parts to make them appear as a woman, which a man can never be a woman, and a woman can never be a man, right? So these people are bugged out in the mind. Okay, you got PDF files running around here, right? If you look at like the online, right? If you go on like Instagram, you can look at like they catch predators, right? And you just look at the spirit on all these predators, and it's like these motherfuckers be the weirdest people walking, talking, socially awkward. You know what I'm saying? Just you can see the demon all on them. You know what I mean? Right? So you got people like that running rampant, right? You got moles running rampant on both sides, women and men, right? It's just all out confusion. These people, and that's what ultimately the land of the free means. That's, part of it. That's what it means, is do what the fuck you want to do. That's what America promotes. Just don't fuck up this white man money and don't get in his way, but do what the fuck you want to do. He's not going to hold you to any righteousness or require any righteousness from you, because he's not righteous himself. Look what they do at the top, right? They take it way, they do shit that if we were to see, we wouldn't be able to sleep at night, knowing this type of shit is going on. And it's in their mind, it's mandatory for them to do it. So when children come up missing, guess what? When things start happening, guess what? Boom, when they have these festivals and these parties and all that, they party completely different. They worship different things, okay, which are all on the left-hand side. And it requires certain activities for them to do. And we all know, I ain't got to go into detail, but we all know what the fuck they be doing. And you think that a person like that could rule forever? And you would want a person like that to rule forever? You tripping. You fucking tripping. Right? Scripture, it says right here, it says, let us oppress the poor righteous man. Why would you oppress a poor righteous man? Why would you even have the mindset to do that? It says, let us not spare the widow, nor reverence the ancient gray hairs of the age. So they're not showing mercy. They're not going to show, mercy is not in them. They don't give a fuck about it. So when judgments start happening to these nations and judgments start happening to these Edomites, who the fuck would feel bad? Who would feel bad? And if you feel bad, you fucked up. Because if you really seen or knew right now, before they about to do what they're going to do, but if you really know right now how the fuck they feel about Jake, you would be like, oh, wow. You will understand that the Lord has been protecting me this whole time. Because my enemies want to, they want to do what enemies do. Okay? It says, therefore, let us lie in wait for the righteous, because he is not for our turn. They know that. We're not, Lord will not be one of those men, one of those righteous men, but we're not for the turn of Esau nor the heathen. Okay? And he is clean contrary to our doings. He upbraided us with our offending the law and objected to our infamy, the transgressings of our education. He professed to have the knowledge of the Most High, and he calleth himself the child of the Lord. He was made to reprove our thoughts. He is grievous unto us, even to behold. So when they see these videos, you don't think they see these videos and you don't think they got a plan? You don't think they trying to ban them? You don't think they trying to take bros? Videos down is so many facts, coming out that's exposing Babylon and the rulers thereof. You don't think they see it? They see it. See, we sounded crazy to you, people that don't believe, you people that show your incredulity, right? We sounded crazy to you years ago. But now, the closer we get to this kingdom falling, the more sure we sound, the more refreshing we sound, the more it makes sense. They might be telling it. Oh man, we should probably tune in. Oh man, they telling the truth. You got people that's coming to the realization that from the apostles of Great Millstone on down, we have been telling the truth and breaking the scriptures down correctly. It's 100% true coming out of GMS. Okay? So know your enemy, man. Right? But even more than that, know the Lord. And get right with the Lord to the best of your abilities, man. And that goes for me, first and foremost, while we still got a chance. So with that, man, loading videos edifying. Loading, I can got something from this video. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh. Bahashim Yahweh Shah, Bahashim Kwakadashim.